Welcome to Because. We have a great show planned for you today. We'll start out with Pat and myself out at the Schaumburg Airport as I check out the new flight simulator. And then next, we'll have a brief discussion with Trish Dunbar from the Schaumburg Athletic Association, who's in charge of their cheerleading and dance. And then we'll finish today's episode. Pat will take us over to the Schaumburg Township Food Pantry. Stick around. We'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome back to Because. This is Pat Casler. I'm Director of Communications for the Schaumburg Park District. And we're out here today at the Schaumburg Regional Airport with Sean Klein. And Sean, you're with the Northwest Flyers. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
I am the Assistant Chief Pilot here at Northwest Flyers. I'm also a flight instructor and kind of help oversee the flight school that we have here at Schaumburg Airport. Pretty much help out with daily operations, and then I'm also a pretty much full-time charter pilot, so I keep busy flying some of the aircraft in our charter fleet. So.
And you have a flight school here?
Yes, we do. We have a full-service flight school. We offer flight training at everywhere from beginners on up to advanced pilots, so we do that as well.
And one of the reasons we're out here today is look at one of the new amenities that you're offering to the people in the flight school, and that would be?
That is our new Precision Flight Controls flight simulator. It's another tool for our flight school that just gives us another option for our students to use. So.
Well, terrific. And we brought with us today Tony LaFrenere, who's the Executive Director of the Park District, and he's going to give the simulator a try. We are here with the gentleman who actually owns and operates the flight simulator for the Northwest Flyers. And your name, please?
CP Joyce.
And how did you get interested in flight simulation?
I have been a flight simulation enthusiast for over 20 years now. I got into simulation way back in '86, and since then I've been very passionate about building simulators and using it for my own hobby, basically. But I'm an ex-student of this flight school as well, and ever since I became a student here 2 or 3 years ago, I've been very passionately speaking about having a simulator out here for our students who come to Northwest Flyers. And there isn't one here, so we thought we'll put one together. And I've spent my time in the last year and a half trying to talk to Sean about it and seeing if it's worthwhile doing it. And now in the past 3 months, trying to put it together and set it up, deciding on which one to buy. And of course, in the last 4 weeks, the whole setup of the simulator itself.
How does a simulator benefit students?
I think for my own personal self, I would say that simulators help improve proficiency for aspiring students, drop the cost down for flight training for aspiring students, which is one of the biggest expenses around for a student to go through. And lastly, I think it helps improve safety overall for people to come back to practicing their flying on a simulator, so it keeps them safe in the skies. There are many things that you can get proficient with while on a simulator, and I've thoroughly believed in it. I'm a member of the EAA and the AOPA, and I've always spoken passionately about how simulators can help actually improve proficiency for aspiring pilots. And as many students who come in and the costs of pilot study going up, I think it's a worthwhile investment to make for a flight school, and I think it's a wonderful amenity to have for any flight school.
Well, that sounds terrific. And we have here today our number one flying ace, Tony. Tony, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Oh, wrong shoulder. Hello.
And can you take him through his paces on the simulator and keep him from crashing, okay?
Oh, very good. I'm absolutely delighted to do that, and we'll keep him safe, but we'll give him a test ride on the simulator.
And away we go.
The engines are started, you're ready to taxi. The throttle controls are exactly akin to what you see in a real plane, and that's your main throttle.
Okay.
That's a mixture control for the airplane, and so the rudder pedals are active, so you may want to use those as well. With your heels, you get to navigate the airplane, the nose, basically, and with your toes, you get to operate the brakes. You're ready to taxi.
I'm ready if you think I'm ready.
That's ready. That red button on the left side, you've got to push it in to release your brakes.
This one?
Yes. And now you're ready to increase your throttle, and
Okay.
With your feet.
Now, you said the feet is...
You're going to steer with your feet.
Steer with your feet.
Okay.
And press the toe brakes.
Oh, that is sensitive.
And press the toe brakes. So you're going to make a complete 180. You make a U-turn with your feet.
I'm going to try out the grass a little first, apparently.
That's okay. It needed to be mowed.
Think of the throttle as your gas pedal.
Right.
Okay.
I wanna
So the
slow
more you
down a
push
little
it forward,
bit.
the more gas. And then the rudder pedals are like your steering wheel on the ground. So
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to get used to.
it takes a little bit of getting used to. So
Now,
so
literally when I press this left one, that'll take me to the
that's
left?
going to push the nose left, and push the right one. It's going to push the nose right. The
Okay.
top, it has a, you're able to push on the top, and those are your brakes. Now you're on the runway, so basically what's going to happen is you can put both feet up to the top of those pedals and push them both together, and that's going to stop the airplane. So the brakes are operated independently.
Okay.
So basically what we're going to do is we're going to run the power up, and you would check your engine gauges just to make sure everything's coming up normally, this is the RPM, that's
Right.
how fast the engine's spinning. Then you have oil pressure here, oil temp, fuel pressure. So basically we're just going to kind of run it up a little bit to make sure everything's normal, and then you can release those brakes.
Okay.
And you're going to use your feet to steer the airplane down the center line of the runway.
Good luck.
Yep, exactly. When we get to about 65 knots on that airspeed indicator over there, you're going to start applying some back pressure into
This
the
way?
yoke,
Okay.
and that's going to get you off the ground.
Okay.
And then you're looking to just kind of put the cowling of the airplane, just position it over the horizon, and that'll give you a pretty good pitch for your climb.
And when you say position, how would I do that? Same with my feet?
Just with pulling back on that
With this?
yoke, it's going to
Okay.
raise the nose up,
Okay.
and then you're just going to try to keep it over the horizon. And I'll help you out as you go along.
So it's on takeoff, it's a kind of a gradual pullback?
Yeah, you're not going to yank it back. You're just going to gradually pitch the nose up for a climb. So,
Okay. So flaps and all this other stuff, don't worry about that?
Nope,
It's
you
all
don't have to
set.
worry about any of that just right yet. So,
Okay.
so go ahead and release the brakes.
Okay.
And then you're going to slowly advance this throttle all the way forward. The airplane's going to have a natural tendency to go to the left as you do that, so you're going to have to add a little bit of right rudder to keep the airplane on the center line.
Keep going.
Yep. Keep going all the way forward. All the way forward. There you go. You just want to do the best you can to keep it on the middle, that middle line of lights. Start bringing the yoke back a little bit. We're past 65, so keep bringing that yoke back. There you go. You're airborne. So don't keep pulling back. You just want to.
Okay. Easy.
There you go. And now roll it to the right a little bit to
This
level
one?
your wings. There you go. You want to kind of keep it so you can see horizon on both sides.
Got it.
And then just pitch that nose up a little bit more.
A little bit.
Like we said, you want to kind of put that nose on the horizon. Roll the wings back level to the right. There you go.
Nose down still a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, that's actually good, right about there. So you can start pitching the nose back forward. And when you do that, there you go. You want to make it so you can see quite a bit of the horizon out there in front of you.
Is that good, or a little lower
A
still?
little bit lower if you want. And what's going to help is we're going to bring this power back, okay?
Okay.
So I want you to bring this power back until we get just under that 25. Now you're up in cruise flight. The yoke is going to control, when you turn it left and right, that's the roll of the airplane.
Uh-huh.
When you pull it back and forth, that's the pitch of the airplane. So when you pull back, you're going to pitch up.
Right.
When you push forward, that's going to push the nose down. Now those rudder pedals don't just end on the ground though. They're still important in flight.
Okay.
The rudder pedals are used to control the yaw of the airplane. So the nose left and right tendency, not just the roll tendency.
Okay.
So go ahead and push those rudder pedals a little bit back and forth and you'll see what happens. It's going to swing that nose left and right. Give it a little bit more kick than that. It does force the airplane to kind of roll at the
Right.
same time, but it's actually controlling a yawing motion of the nose. It's kind of like the rudder on a boat.
Huh.
So the small hand tells us in thousands of feet how high we are.
Okay.
The skinnier hand tells us in hundreds of feet. So we read that one at a time, kind of like a clock. And yeah, you're kind of coming back around and you want to line up with those lights off there to your left.
Okay.
Okay, good. They're coming in front of us. Looking good. Now we're going to put out some flaps. There it is. See how it's red over white now? To the left of the runway.
Red over
Means
white.
you're on the
Oh,
approach
okay.
path.
Oops.
Looks like we might have hit a bird there. So
So-
just keep flying the airplane. You're doing a great job trying to line up with the center line to the right
Oh,
there.
still that center
yeah,
line. All right.
that's to the left of the runway. There you go. Now keep the nose up. Keep the nose up. Keep the wings level.
Oh boy.
Hey, it's not bad. We're almost down. There we go. Nice job. It was you survived the bird strike, so.
I think probably the biggest challenge was I didn't realize how much the feet were involved in the whole aspect of flying and getting used to that sensitivity of the feet and trying to steer with the feet at first. Definitely was a interesting task that I didn't anticipate. I thought it would be more with the yoke. I can't imagine trying to undertake this as a student without this type of simulator because it really can help you, those repetitions.
And if someone wants to learn how to fly, Northwest Flyers can be reached at?
You can call our main office line at 1-847-985-9778. You can shoot us an email at flightschool@northwestflyers.com. And you can also check out our webpage at northwestflyers.com.
So it may be time for you to hit the friendly skies right here at the Schaumburg Regional Airport. And Dr. and Sean and Tony, thanks for being on this segment of Because.
Yeah, thank you.
Having us.
Appreciate it,
Appreciate
Sean.
it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Really
Thanks for
appreciate it.
coming
Yep.
Nice landing.
I'm here with Trish Dunbar from the Schaumburg Athletic Association. Trish, welcome to Because.
Thank you.
So Trish, you've been involved with the Schaumburg Athletic Association for a while. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
And my daughter is actually in 3rd grade, so she started in cheer and dance in K1.
Okay.
And in K1, I was just the hallway monitor, and she just really, really liked it, and it was a great way for me to get involved with her in a sport that she enjoyed. So then I moved on to take on a manager's position last year for 2nd grade, and then took the assistant commissioner job this year, and I will be the incoming cheer commissioner for next year.
Oh, that's great. Well, as a community member myself, we really appreciate volunteers like yourself that step up to the plate.
Yeah,
and
we have a lot of parents in our organization that step up from the manager level just to help us with our uniforms and get us ready for competitions and football games and parades. We couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, a lot of activities. So let's get right down to it. Cheer and dance. Tell us a little bit about, what the program is, how it's developed over time, and.
Well, we have about 300 girls in the organization. We have 8 squads and also a senior division, which was really exciting. The senior division happened last year.
Okay.
It was a good way to bring kids in that wanted to stay with the sport when they got to the high school level, but didn't either make those teams or maybe just didn't want to put that time commitment in.
Oh, that's great.
So it was a great way to keep them in the sport. And we've also brought in some kids from other towns to keep the senior division going.
Mm-hmm.
So this is their 2nd year and they're doing really well.
So age span wise, they can start how young? And it goes
K1,
to K1
all the way
up to
through high school.
That's great. It is great. I like the idea of the older senior level too, because again, like any activity
Yeah.
for kids, sometimes there's that age disparity that there's only an accelerated version of whatever
Yeah.
sport or offering
So
it is.
it's growing.
Yeah.
We had, I think, 13 participants last year, and we have more girls this year, and boys, for
Yeah.
that matter.
So when we say cheer and dance, tell us a little bit about how they differ, and is that all together, a certain cheer aspect, certain dance aspects?
Dance is quite a bit different. So they're going to be utilizing the palms. They have a different floor that they work on.
Okay.
Their groups tend to be like 6th and 7th together, 8th, groupings together like that. So they go against other towns that are doing exactly that. So dance, more theatrical
Okay.
than we are, which is cheer is exactly what you think, which is a lot of the flipping
Right.
and all of that great
Yeah,
stuff.
and cheer has the flyer, right? Or
We
something
have
like that.
flyers and bases
Yeah,
and
I have a
back
daughter
spots and front spots.
that they say would be a good flyer if she ever gets into it because she
Yeah.
has that body style. And
My
like
daughter's
you
also
said,
a flyer.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And it's exciting to see them go up there for the first time. Yeah.
And then as far as skills that are developed or things that you've seen out of the kids, how do cheer and dance? What do you see that the girls and potentially boys, are there boys in the program
Yes,
too?
we have one boy.
Great.
And hopefully we can get some more boys interested in
Yeah,
joining as
yeah.
well. So it's a great aspect for boys that really like gymnastics.
Right.
My daughter's now in 3rd grade, and it's amazing to me to watch how those girls were in K1 and how they are now. And
Sure.
I have an opportunity to now to even watch the older squads. And I am just so overwhelmed by what they can do then by 8th grade when I
Right.
see them when they were only, 5 years old.
Yeah.
They're extraordinary to watch.
I would think that they start out young, and just like anything else, they kind of learn, body control and things like that, and whether it be cheer or dance, I would think that really helps them gain, control of their body, then different muscle memory drills and things like that.
Well, and I think over too, it's just the confidence.
Right.
And so many people say, "Oh, my daughter's shy or my son's shy," and to see them go out and to do this, and just last weekend we performed in front of probably 5,000 people.
Holy cow! Wow.
And to see those kids that are so nervous and the way they just get that smile and go onto that floor and just
Right.
press on, it's it's something I don't even think I could do it.
Yeah. Where was that competition at? Was that
We were at the Sears
Yeah, I
Center,
read about
and
that.
all of our Schaumburg squads have gotten a bid to state. State's going to be December 7th and 8th, so anybody wants to come to Sears Center to watch us and root us
Okay.
on, we'd really
Oh, it's
appreciate that.
great. That's nice and close.
Yeah,
As far
so
as-
we're very fortunate that way.
That's nice.
But another exciting thing for us is that we are launching our spring season.
Okay.
This is going to be open from 5th grade to high school, and it's going to be rec cheer as well as a tryout team. This is our first year doing it, so we're not sure exactly how many numbers are going to come in, but it was a great way to bring kids in that are in other sports in the fall that can't
Right.
join cheer.
Sure.
Give them a chance to try it out. And as well as a lot of kids leave the program to go to All-Star Cheer or to other dance camps and such. And
Right.
so it's a good way to keep them in the program all year.
Right.
So we're excited. It'll be our first time doing it.
Right, and you mentioned, was it typical that the cheer program was done in the fall in conjunction with football?
Yeah,
and they did that?
conjunction with football. We do
Okay.
cheer at football games,
Right.
and we march in the parade with the football team.
Okay,
So we like to do a lot of that together, as well as we compete. So
Great.
our girls compete in roughly 5 to 6 competitions a year.
yeah, and are all those pretty local as far as surrounding suburbs?
Yeah, I
Have
think
you
our
got a
furthest
state
out we
parade?
go is Algonquin.
Okay.
Is probably our furthest out.
That's great.
We're very fortunate because a lot of towns travel a long way to come to these
Sure.
competitions.
In typical competition, do they do one set, 2 routines? How does the competition
It's
run?
our routines are 3 minutes.
Okay.
And you go out there, you do your 3 minutes, and you're done. And
Okay.
so the girls we practice 2 hours a day, 2 days a week, plus
Mm-hmm.
football games, plus the competitions. And those little ones can get really exhausted. But I always tell them, you only have to go out and do this one
Right,
time that day.
right.
You're not having to do it 100 times in a
Sure,
row.
sure. Well, that's really neat. So that's cheer. As far as dance competitions, is it
Same thing.
fairly similar?
We participate on the same days.
Oh, okay.
So usually cheer will have a floor here and dance will
Got
have a
it.
floor here. And they're really amazing to watch, especially the theatrical parts of
Right.
this dance.
And are there some girls that can you be both in cheer and dance, or
No.
you have to choose?
Yeah,
Okay,
you really do have to choose with that time commitment, and since you are competing at the same time, so I
Sure.
don't think there'd be any way they could do it.
Yeah, that'd be very difficult.
yeah.
That's nice. It sounds like some nice offerings, and again, it's really nice to hear that. I like the variety of having the spring season is really good because there's always having kids myself. You can only sign up for X, Y, and Z in the fall,
Yeah.
and you can't sign up in the spring.
Yeah, so we're encouraged. I think we're going to open the registration in December,
Mm-hmm.
in December into January, right after the season closes. Then we'll do that. And it's my first year being the commissioner too, so it'll be interesting to do that. And we don't want anybody to forget that next fall we will also be hosting. Schaumburg will be hosting its own competition.
Oh, that's
here.
great.
And so it'd be a great way to get the whole
Right,
town involved.
Right, very exciting. Well, as we finish up, anything else you wanted to add about cheer or dance that we didn't capture already?
No, I just encourage everybody who's been interested in doing maybe to look at the spring
Right.
season. It is abbreviated season, so it's a good way to try it out.
Yeah, introductory
See if
kind
the
of
kids
shortened
enjoy
season.
it.
That's great.
And I always encourage people to come to the cheer house. We have our own cheer house on the other side of Schaumburg by Woodfield.
Okay.
And if you wanted to contact me and see if your daughter wanted to take a look and son and see if they like it,
Right.
please do.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Trish, we really appreciate you
Thank
stopping
you very
by. Like
much.
I
I
said
really
before,
appreciate
we
it.
appreciate what you do for the community, being involved
Thank
with
you.
SA. That's great.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Happy holidays. I'm Pat Casler, Director of Communications for the Schaumburg Park District, and we're here today at the Schaumburg Township Food Pantry with Barbara McGinn, who organizes everything here.
Thank you, Pat. Nice to meet you.
Welcome. Tell us about the food pantry, just kind of an overall, how did it come to be here?
Well, the Schaumburg Township Food Pantry has been here for over 35 years. We've moved from location to location, but currently we're at 1 Illinois Boulevard in Hoffman Estates.
And that is the township building right off Schaumburg Road.
Correct, Schaumburg and Illinois Boulevard. We're in the lower level in the General Assistance Office. We're donation-based, so we thrive on donations from the community, from churches in the area, schools, businesses. They keep our shelves well-stocked, and then our clients are able to schedule appointments and use the pantry one time a month.
Who are your clients?
Our clients are anyone who lives in the Schaumburg Township area. So we do extend to 7 different communities, including Elk Grove, Roselle, a large portion of Hoffman Estates, a large section, Schaumburg, Rolling Meadows, and Streamwood. So we do expand beyond Schaumburg, the village.
How many people do you have in every month who need help?
On average, we schedule over 500 appointments. We schedule pantry appointments every half hour for 2 households, and they choose the items that they take to their household. We don't prepackage. It's like a mini mart, so they are able to come in, fill their 2 bags with the items that work best for their family, their diets, their special needs.
And it is by appointment only?
It is by appointment only. Clients can either call to schedule their appointment, walk in for an appointment, or if they're in, a real need and we have an opening, we'll try to fit them into the schedule.
And I imagine that's partly to protect clients' privacy.
Correct, yes. Yes.
So what if I was in need, how would I go about availing myself of your services?
So you could either give us a call at the township, and the number at the Schaumburg Township Food Pantry is 847-884-0030. We're extension 1013. You could walk into the township building between the hours of 8:30 and 5, and we could schedule that appointment for you.
And looking here, maybe you could just walk over here with us. You do have a selection of, there's fresh produce here and some great looking apples. And how do you choose what food to accept here?
The majority of our shelved items are donations from the community, but we are fortunate to receive food from the Greater Chicago Food Depository. We can place an order as often as we wish, and we use funds that we've received through donations to order items that they have available from week to week. So the produce comes from the Greater Chicago Food Depository. They usually offer some fruits or vegetables weekly, so we like to take advantage of that because we really feel that the wholesome nutrition from fresh vegetables and fruits are what most of our clients are looking for.
What products do you encourage, say, the residents of Schaumburg to donate?
Oh, we take just about any products, food products here at the township. There are some that are more popular than others, macaroni and cheese, soups, pastas, tomato products. But we take as well dry goods. We take diapers, baby formula, paper products, paper towels, Kleenex, toilet paper. All of those items are much in need too.
And I know that the employees of the Schaumburg Park District, we make our Christmas or our holiday project the donation of food to the township. And so I know that one of the drop-off places will be at any Schaumburg Park District facility. But for the residents of Schaumburg, how do they go about giving?
Well, we are open daily, Monday through Friday, and we accept donations throughout the day here at the township. If it's a large donation, there are a lot of organizations that like to do food drives, such as the Park District. If we know ahead of time, just so we can accommodate you and make accommodations here for the delivery, that works out best. But you don't even need to contact us. Just dropping off a bag at the door is more than welcome.
How do you process food when it comes in?
So food that comes in, we do check it for good value. We prefer not expired food, not dented cans, anything that's been opened or used, we don't put that in the food pantry. We do try to filter through and make sure that the items in the pantry will not be harmful to anyone that uses the pantry.
How did you come to be running the food pantry?
Oh. Well, I started about 4 years ago, and I heard there was an opening. They were looking for additional assistance, so I applied for the job. And I do have a food safety handling certificate, so I think that helped.
What is the most rewarding part of your position?
Oh, I say I have the best job in Schaumburg. I see both ends of the spectrum. I see the giving community and those in need, and both are wonderful, so I feel I get best of both worlds.
Well, would you like to show us around a little further?
I'd love to show you around. Sure, certainly.
We're back here in the storage area of the food pantry. And Barb, how many times can a family, say, drop in a month?
Visits are allowed one time a month per household.
Is there a limit to how much food you encourage people to take?
So each family is entitled to take 2 bags with the items of their choice. We do go over a little bit. If we have paper products, we don't count that in the bag. If we have pizza donations in large boxes, certain items we allow outside of the bags, but it's technically 2 bags.
Are there times of the year where the pantry is more in need of donations than they are at other times?
Well, it's a year-round need, truly. It seems that the summer months, our shelves are cleared. We don't receive quite as many donations as we could use, but the winter months, we accept them. We have an increase in clients who in need of the pantry, so we welcome the donations during the holidays as well.
Well, maybe you could show us around and show us some of the ample stocks you have right now.
Sure, I'd love to. We try to set it up much like a grocery store. This is where we restock the shelves from. So we keep the staples in the township pantry, peanut butter, jelly, items that children need, during school to make sandwiches for breakfast, as well as dinner items that the families can use later in the day. We keep dry milk. We don't always get milk and eggs. We do try to keep that on hand, but when not, we do have dry milk that's available.
And so everything comes back here, it's sorted, and then it's put on shelves according to category.
Yes, exactly. So we have a sorting area in the next section where items come in. They usually come in shopping carts, and we sort them once we check the dates and check it for any damage. We sort that according to category and place it in our storage shelves.
Do many of the grocery stores in town make donations?
Many of the grocery stores do make donations on a weekly basis, and we're very grateful for that. We get items such as bread, fresh produce, some meat items, so we're very grateful to those donations.
That's terrific.
As you can see, we have some pet food. Even the animal hospitals in the area will host pet food drives, so we have food for our friendly furry pets. We have personal items, shampoos, soaps, conditioners. We try to keep that on the shelves as well as much as we can, although it's not one of the most common items that are donated, as well as the diapers. And they're just not, we don't have them on a regular basis, but when we have them, they're greatly appreciated.
Just as much in demand, I would suppose. Has demand gone up for your services since the economic downturn?
Yes, we have noticed an increase in the number of clients needing the use of the pantry. Numerous reasons. It may be unemployment, loss of jobs, medical reasons where their bills have escalated. There has been a recent drop in food stamps, so we are seeing an increase due to that. So our numbers have gone up. In the years that I've been here, I'd say it had increased a couple of hundred per month.
That's significant.
Yes.
So that means demand for any donations that you can make this time of year are?
Greatly appreciated and much needed. Thank you. Yes.
And from the Because Show at the Schaumburg Township Food Pantry with Barb McGinn, this is Pat Casler signing off.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. Thanks for tuning in, Just Because.